Hello and welcome to the Waste of Time podcast. This is episode number 31, I believe, although we've done a few that have not quite made it to air. But more importantly, this is actually the final episode ever recorded at what will probably be, by the time I release this, my old house, 1470 Oak Leaf Drive in Watsonville, California.
And if you're wondering what the coordinates of that are, because, he's not really clear with his address specifically, that could be anywhere. It's 36.89454 north, 121.70988 west. So make sure to go to that house and do what you want to do. You can piss on it.
Yeah, sure. I do not think the new owners would appreciate that.
Oh,
We
yeah.
don't quite know
It
who
might
those
have
are
been.
yet. It's still up for sale. So
It
hey,
might
if
have
you're
been.
if you hear this and want to buy a new house in this area, make an offer.
Oh, God. You can be in the place where, we recorded the podcast. We can be in the place where we recorded the Watsonvlog.
Watsonvlog.
You can stand in the
We'll
very
we'll
place.
talk about other stuff that was recorded here when I talk more about the house in its own segment later on. Also, I should mention that this is not a very typical podcast structure. It's more just loosely structured, probably a short form podcast. If you guys have seen the one I did with Theo earlier this summer, kind of like that. But we do actually have some basic points to go over. So first of all, let's talk about Ben. You and I hung out in LA for a bit for a couple days earlier on this summer, end of June, early July, I believe it was, and we made something called the LA vlog, which you can now watch on the channel.
Fucking watch it.
What?
I'm in it. Watch it.
Yeah.
Why are you not watching it, right now?
Yeah, they're like, have them simultaneously playing. Sure, why not?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
we also recorded in a hotel room in Silver Lake. We recorded the original episode 31, which I never released that. I still have the audio, and if I'll put a poll maybe somewhere on I don't know. Actually, YouTube doesn't do polls anymore on I guess you can do polls as a
community
post.
tab.
But you can't do polls on the video anymore because they got rid of most of those tag things. I might put it on the Instagram or something like that. If you really want it, I'll release it unedited audio. But it was, for lack of a better word, shit.
It was disgusting. The thing was, we were operating on we had 30 minutes of time. We wanted to record two things. One of the things we thought was going to be a lot more important than the other. And, usually when we do waste of time, we're kind of out of it. We're not preparing for days on the podcast. So we just stood there and started talking. But there was we were stressed. We had to record that song called "Fuck the Dodgers." That had to be
that made it into the vlog. That one can actually be viewed because I can maybe put that one in the vlog as well.
Yeah, we even sent it to the Dodgers management. So
we got a very strongly worded no.
Wait, you did? Can you send that to me?
Yeah. I'll send you. They did respond. They said no. We decided not to, put you through to applications for this.
At least they responded.
So this is actually a chance for me to clarify something for people who, have just now hearing this and have actually never seen the LA vlog. Which in that case, go watch it after this. But
yeah,
the Los Angeles Dodgers. If you guys have seen a baseball game, they normally sing, the American national anthem prior to baseball games. And the Los Angeles Dodgers have an email you can send if you want to send in an MP3 for you to audition to sing the national anthem. That's pretty much their basic selection process. I mean, obviously sometimes they will actually ask people to do it. Typically that's how people get selected for it, as I understand.
Yeah.
We sent in one where the entire national anthem was replaced by us just singing the words "fuck the Dodgers" over and over again, and they said no, thank you.
It was pretty good. I don't know why they didn't accept it. It's the best song ever.
To be fair, I've actually heard worse performances in the national anthem at baseball games before.
Fucking Fergie at the Warriors basketball game.
Oh God.
Oh shit.
At least ours was on point for what we were trying to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about what else we did when we were there. I got for instance, I went to a
No, don't spoil it for the LA vlog. Don't fucking spoil it.
That vlog's been out for over a month
so they
now.
should have to watch it if they want to know what's going on.
Oh, come on.
I'm telling you.
Nah. I posted about it on my Instagram as well and my
saw
Snap.
the Muppets movie.
Yes, I saw the Muppets movie being filmed. On the hike up to the Hollywood sign, I stumbled across a filming set for the Muppets Mayhem. I think it's a movie. It might be a TV show. I'm not quite sure.
It's a movie.
Okay. I mean, I guarantee, because the craft service tents were covered. Griffith Park, when we went up there, was a couple of tents. By the time we got back down, 3 hours later, there were maybe 100 tents and close to 400 people there. like all like craft services and like
Speaking
film set stuff.
speaking of movies,
Yeah,
I said this in the last podcast, but it's probably not going to get released. So they're making a Pop-Tart movie
they are.
at my school. It's a Jerry Seinfeld directed movie with Melissa McCarthy and Amy Schumer starring in it. So it's going to be so ass. But I'm looking forward
When
to
you
watching
first said that, I thought that Pop-Tart was like, slang for, cheesy product-filled movie. But no, you actually made a movie about Pop-Tarts. What? I can't
Jerry
even...
Seinfeld.
I'm going to go see this. If it's a theater thing, I'm going to go see it in theaters. This sounds incredible.
How can you be a bigger sellout than Jerry fucking Seinfeld at this point? He's already rich.
No, Ben, I'm selling out
He did
because
everything.
it's Jerry Seinfeld. I enjoy Jerry Seinfeld. That's why I'm going to go see it.
Who enjoys Jerry Seinfeld?
Me.
Other than the B movie.
And
The B
most
movie.
people over the age of 60.
That's true.
And people who like cars.
Oh, comedians in cars getting coffee.
No, I mean, he also just does, like, car reviews sometimes. It's quite funny. Yeah. But, anyway. Yeah.
The other things, so the
Other
things
things
we
I
did
did
in
say, I
LA.
went to the car museum, may or may not have snuck over to a... hooked up.
Okay. Okay. Don't put that in the podcast, but okay. You should probably bleep that from the podcast.
Yeah, if you wonder why there's a 10-second long censor beep now, you know why. Actually, I guess you don't know why.
He made meth in a basement.
What?
Nothing. I mean,
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, LA was a lot of fun. We went to,
like
God, the Angel Stadium was so awful.
I went for UCI night the other night.
Yeah?
Mm-mm.
No,
No.
What?
It was, they gave out like hats. I didn't get one because they weren't.
Oh, did I ever tell you what happened to that? So if you guys watched the vlog, I bought like one of those souvenir mini baseball bats for $9. Really the only,
Did you
really
break
the
it?
only purchased souvenir I have from that trip. I don't have it anymore.
Did you lose it?
It was confiscated by TSA.
What the fuck?
The reason I'm
Congrats.
complaining about this is I've flown back from Boston, New York, and Colorado with those miniature baseball bats from the Red Sox, Yankees, and Rockies games respectively on Southwest with no issue whatsoever. And the whole
Also,
thing about
like,
TSA
it's
is
John Wayne
TSA is
fucking
supposed to
airport.
stand like I don't also TSA, the whole point of it is to standardize security for what you can and can't take on planes. Not on an airport by airport basis or by an airline by airline basis. And it is
We're an Asian by Asian
annoying.
basis because that's what it is. It's all they do is they just TSA is so ass.
Yeah,
they're
you know,
mean
for
to me.
sure.
I don't like them.
I mean, for the guy,
Get rid
the
of
guy
him.
who pulled the bag was very apologetic about it. He went to go talk to his, his superiors, like, hey, can we please not do this? And he's like, nope, I guess we have to. He's like, hey, we can offer to check it. I'm like, I don't have any check bags. He's like, well, we can check it in a separate bag for $25. I'm like, that's not worth it. No, it's not worth it for $25. At least I got to prove that I had it at one point because it showed me in that video.
That's why you get the checked baggage, though. But I mean,
Do you ever,
your
Ben?
choice.
I had a backpack. That's all I had with me.
Did your dad have one?
My dad
I thought
also
you
had a
like, big
backpack.
bag.
What?
Oh, I thought you guys had like a big bag.
Yeah, that was my dad's carry-on, and that was he had a carry-on. I had a carry-on.
So you guys didn't have any check.
No, we didn't. We didn't
That's
really see a need to. And again, because I've traveled 3 different times with items like that. And also, interestingly enough, I did not get pulled despite the fact I had like a pressurized can of deodorant in my bag. So they really don't care apparently, unless it's they don't really care unless it's convenient for them to piss people off. Anyway, I could go on about TSA all day, but as I said before, this is kind of a shorter form podcast. And so I think because of that, we should move on. Unless there's anything else, Ben, do you want to say anything else about the time in LA that we spent together?
Yeah, I just wanted to say it was fun when we went to the Dodgers game and got a Dodgers dog, and you should watch the fucking vlog because the stadium is really fantastic.
Yep.
You didn't get to see a lot of the Dodgers game in the vlog because
No.
we were just busy watching the Dodgers.
Well,
like
also
suck.
because my phone
Even
was
though they
entirely
won.
out of storage by that point because I filmed it in 4K 60.
And I did tell him it was a dumb idea, but I had a lot of fun.
Ben,
It was
I've
really
since
nice.
watched it in 4K 60, and believe me, it was actually worth it.
Sure.
Because I have a 4K monitor. I watched.
Confirmation bias. That's called confirmation bias.
No, like
Okay.
the first time I watched it in 1080, and then I watched it again in 4K. And honestly, from a visual standpoint, it is quite nice seeing stuff like my Hollywood hike in 4K. So for the views, actually worth it. I think for the most part, it was just my commitment to a really stupid Watsonvlog level idea. But it was quite fun. Fun trip we did. That was a lot of fun. Anyway, let's move on. Hold on one second. All right, so we're back. Sorry about that quick little interruption there. We were just moving on to Ben's music segment. You make music, Ben. Let's talk about it. In fact, actually,
Yes.
Some of your music appeared in the LA vlog. Perfect transition.
It did. It was Panic Mode from 2020, which is no longer available on Spotify because TuneCore. TuneCore. Fuck TuneCore.
What is TuneCore?
Don't remove my.
Is it like
TuneCore is
or?
It's like DistroKid. It's a shut the fuck up. It's like Cloudcore. Damn.
Yeah, Cloudcore. The metal genre where they like play metal inside porta potties and all that.
It's like
metal band,
cottagecore. It's like Clara.
So okay. What actually is TuneCore? Because I hear you complain about it a lot, but I don't know what it is.
It's a label that you can basically publish to Spotify under for either an annual fee or a per album per year fee.
Right.
So I decided to switch from the per album per year fee to the annual fee, and that way I don't have to pay money to have an album up because, I had to be smart about thinking, when would I release my music? Because every time I released, it would be money and it would take away from my account. So I would always save up stuff to put into an album, but I realized the albums don't get as many listens as the singles. So if I wanted to put out a lot of singles, which is kind of my plan going forward.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because you're like, I never really said anything about it, because like I don't know much about the actual business release way of music or anything like that. But I'm like, it's like, hey, it's a single, then like, oh, there's an album. It's like it seemed a bit weirdly staggered whenever you would release stuff on Spotify and all that. But it makes sense though that you would switch it. So wait, what's the problem then?
Well, the problem is that I switched to the annual fee after my first album had its 2-year release, because I paid for 2 years for $75 in 2020 on May 1st. And then May 1st, 2022 rolls around, they released their annual plan, like the whole thing. They released that in like early August. So my album went offline and no one can listen to it anymore. But that's okay. It wasn't my best work. And my new shit is coming out soon, August 31st. And listen,
so
PCB plug.
I still have your stuff on. I don't use Spotify all that much. I still have your stuff on Apple Music. Is that going to change
It's
at all?
on Apple Music. So do you still have like Decision Day on it? Because Decision Day shouldn't be on Apple Music.
Let me check.
It should be the Goodbye Tour, It's Too Dark, Your Illusion, Failure, Expiration Date. That should be the 4.
Decision Day. Yeah, I have it. Wait, it might be because I purchased Decision. I actually bought the song. That could be why.
That's probably why. Thank you. Yeah. It's an album.
Yeah. Oh well. Okay. No. That actually. Let me take a look. No. Okay. I bought Panic Mode when it came out because I really like Panic Mode.
People thought it was a joke. People thought the song was a joke. Now I know why I get so many streams on Panic Mode to this day. I'm like, who the fuck is streaming that? It's you. Thank you. But
I realized why I like it, because it sounds a lot like, it reminds me a lot of just the coincidence of the name only here, I think, but like the actual sound of it remind me a lot of Panic at the Disco's second album, when they started doing like a lot more of this like kind of like whimsical like vocal based stuff. I'm pretty odd. I'll try to send you the exact song it reminds me of. But
their new stuff is really ass.
God, I'll say this. I don't mind if Brendan Urie wants to like go full like pop with his stuff, and he's got a good voice for it. Just don't release it under that name. Like that name has a lot of good stuff under it.
The only good song in that album is like Viva Las Vengeance, and that's
Wait, is the album out yet? I forgot that the album came out. I only listened to the single.
He strains his voice on every single track. Every single track of his, he has a problem with his voice. So as a trained no, as some motherfucker that sings on the internet, yes, he has a problem with his voice. Trust me on this, okay?
Yeah.
I'm a vocal coach. I'm not a fucking vocal
Yeah.
coach. Don't ask me.
He also has problems with a drum machine, apparently. I don't know. Wait, why?
It says time left.
Why do we have 10 minutes left in our Zoom call?
I think they. Oh, it's not for school, is it?
No, but it's only a 2-person call.
They released a feature where if it's not a school account.
This is the account I use for school. It's the same thing. Anyway, we'll just start another call. It doesn't matter. Let's keep going. So Ben, your music. We were talking about that.
Yeah. So I got a new keyboard. It's a Yamaha PSR 70. It's one of the best keyboards I've ever. It's not one of the best. It's like a home keyboard, but it's giving me so much inspiration with the voices and the samples. And I have a MIDI cable for it, and I can finally do all the shit I wanted to do with my old keyboard at home. It's like almost a full-size keyboard. It's amazing. I love it. And new music is on the way, made from that keyboard. There's also something that's on the way that's made with like a kind of a trap beat, which I'm really interested about. Ooh. And a friend of mine has been collecting new analog keyboards and shit. And he just sent me a video. So Oliver, you know how pianos are like you press your hand down and then like a hammer hits a string, right?
Yeah. I used to open up my piano I used to have in my house and just play the strings inside because I was bored.
Yeah.
And I was like 2 years old.
Electric pianos, usually with an electric piano, what you'll have is it'll be a key that just presses a button, right? But this keyboard, it presses a hammer which hits a string, and it picks up on a guitar pickup. So like a guitar, it's fucking cool. It's fucking amazing.
A really interesting idea. So wait, like in terms of sound difference, what's the result?
The result? Have you ever heard a Stevie Wonder song?
Yes. I mean, obviously, yes.
That is the result. That's what he uses.
That's actually good. I can see why that would be very beneficial. That's how you
get it, right? That's how you get that sound. And then every single other one is an emulation of that sound, which is really cool. When you learn about physics, if you're ever interested, you should take a physics class on like waveforms. It's fucking amazing. It opens up the world to a lot of sound stuff.
I actually might do that because I need like general education and science credits, so maybe. If that's covered in like
I call it pain in the ass. Try not to take mechanics. Yeah. Take electromagnetic forces. Don't take mechanics.
Yeah. So anyway, that's great to hear about about your new music stuff. And sorry about the whole issue with the label and all. That sounds like a nightmare to deal with. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna pause the recording. I'm gonna pause the recording, end this call, and start a new one. Honestly, this is why I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. We need to switch to Skype. Joining us now live via Google Hangout is Ben Rhodes. Hello, Ben.
This is a Zoom call, buddy, and it's still 40 minutes, but we're cool.
Yeah, why is that? Is that new?
No, probably. Anyways, last time we were talking about my music, but then
we were just moving on. We were moving on to the next segment, and then we had like the issue with the call. Right?
Yes.
I believe that's
Did you see the Discord message I sent you? Like all the Discord messages?
See it. Discord still.
You should check your text message. You should type.
I saw you sent me a screenshot. Didn't read it. Yeah.
You should read it.
Okay, I'll read this live on air. Should I do that?
No, don't read it live on air. Don't leave it for you. I mean, if you want to cut it out, you should.
Did you send me the word butter?
No.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, right. I forgot we did not talk about that. That was off air. Okay. Ben sent me a very funny something and then followed by the word butter. All right. Anyway, moving on. We're going to talk about this house. I'm probably putting pictures of the house as the background if I'm not too lazy throughout this entire segment while we talk about this. So, Ben, you've been here. How many times would you say you've been to my house?
Oh God,
it's a fair few.
More than 10. Like more than 10.
Oh, for sure. I mean, considering that you live, even when you lived in San Francisco, you were always, over like 100 plus miles away. You're always at least 2 hours away. You've been here a surprising amount of times considering that. I say a lot during middle school, but actually more often during high school. During high school, you were here maybe 3 or 4 times a year at times.
Yeah, probably.
We recorded something called the Watsonvlog, which ran from June of 2017 to I think like March of 2019. I believe was the last one, which was the Watsonvlog 5.
That was when I retired from YouTube. No, 2018.
No.
2018 was the last one.
No, Ben, because I remember we filmed the spring break of my junior year because I was no longer at MCP.
Okay.
And so that would have had to be what?
Do you think it might have been winter break of your junior year?
We talked about this. We talked about this. We talked about this when we were on. You could be right. I'm gonna look it up right now. We talked about this on the. I don't know if we talked about this on the vlog or not, but we talked about it in LA.
Because I know for a fact that I stopped before senior year, and I deleted all the Watson vlogs, at least from being public. They're unlisted. And
that's not true, but it does lead into something I want to talk about in a minute. Watsonvlog 5, Oliver's side. My internet's being very slow. Give me a second. I have it right here. I think I published mine a little bit after you published yours for Watsonvlog 5. My side of the Watsonvlog 5 was published on May 7th, 2019.
So maybe.
And it was filmed, description says film March. So yeah. Anyway, so Ben, that's what I want to talk to you about. I want to talk about on camera for reasons that may be apparent soon enough. I'm putting together a video of my house, you know, throughout the years from pictures. I managed to have pictures of it being built like 20 years ago up till now. I've got some screenshots of my Instagram stories of 2019 when we were finishing up the basement, adding the walls and all that type of stuff. Because this basement for a long time was like one big basement before it became like a proper like bedroom living area. And Ben, you sent me them before, and because I'll take full responsibility for this, an idiot, and I lost them. I do have the first Watson vlog. I've started a playlist for them because I know that they're not. I think you deleted the 5th one, but 1 through 4 are unlisted on your channel. Also, Discord is finally starting. However, Ben, if you could send me the other Watson vlogs, I have 1. If you could send me 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
Just like I know like last time you said no because I already sent them to you. I'm like, and to be fair, you did send them to me in early 2020 when I was putting together my best of high school, like with friends video I did, which I'll link that in the description because I actually love that video. And so you did send me that, but I lost them. However, I do have a playlist now of like I think it's just called like unlisted videos that I have in my unlisted library. That way I can find stuff again. But yeah, because I want to take footage from that and put it into the house video. But yeah, we started a lot of stuff here. The Watson vlogs were here. We had, obviously the podcast started here.
Yeah.
What else do we do? Because again, I'm probably including like
too
footage
much shit
in the background here. Thank you, Ben, for the links.
We did too much shit.
Swagmel's bitch was here. Oh, that was another one. The Swagmel's bitch caption.
I farted.
Drop a bucket of bowling balls up your ass.
Wait. The Watsonvlog 5 was published in January 5th, 2019. So that was spring. That was winter break.
You're right. It was winter break. I just didn't publish it till later because I was lazy. I didn't publish my version until later.
Filmed March. I think that your side was a completely different vlog.
No, it wasn't. We filmed the same one. And I didn't upload mine until later. I even talk about that in the video. I think the intro to the vlog is me saying, hey, I waited to release this because I think I gave some bullshit excuse. I was just being lazy. I think the first few of those were pretty good. The 5th one was okay. But they were fun.
At that point, I wasn't really into vlogging anymore.
Yeah, but they were fun and they're nice time capsules of the time that they were recorded.
That's true.
And they also show us becoming more competent, especially you. They show us becoming more competent at editing videos.
Okay, all right, chill. Okay, chill.
What?
Chill. Yeah, I sucked at editing back in the day.
What? No. I mean, it was still way better than anything. I was still editing on my phone at that point. Actually, I was editing on my phone up until fairly recently. I started using. I've had Final Cut Pro for a while. I've started using, but also I want to mention something I like about these shorter form podcasts is they don't have to render intro segments for them.
Yep. Remember those dot motion files you used to send me?
The grand poobah of penis. That was the best intro I ever made. Well, no, Ben, I could not send you dot motion files because you can't export from Motion. So I would export it to like Final Cut Pro or iMovie and then save it as a movie file.
Jesus Christ, of course you would. Fucking dot motion. I don't even.
As much as I disliked quarantine in general, I cannot imagine being in quarantine in a place like Ashland or really even a city. Like, I'm so glad I spent quarantine here because I could go out for,
What do you mean?
5-mile walks and all that.
Spending time in a city over quarantine wasn't half bad. It's just a different life.
And I know, like for instance, like I could go out on the street here because I would not run into anyone who did not wear a mask. Like even like when it first started, because like I would never see anyone because there's no one around here to see.
True, but you can still wear a mask outside.
I'm saying like when quarantine first started in places like LA or San Francisco, people walking down the streets would do that. I didn't have to.
So am I.
What?
Remember your F off on social distancing mask?
Yeah. I don't know where that is. I think I lost it in England. Actually, no, I still have it. I don't know where it went though. It's somewhere in my bags. I'm glad, because I would do like 10-mile walks. I'm glad I don't have to wear a mask during that. Although obviously, if you lived in a place at the time where you had to wear a mask, you should wear a mask for sure. I think we stressed that enough. Even though we don't have a segment for this, get vaccinated.
Yeah, I mean, that's
check out our Patreon.
Also, yeah, check out our Patreon, stream our music, watch the LA vlog, send a picture of your toes drenched in ranch dressing to my email. Make sure it has a little dollop of barbecue sauce on the big toe.
Oh yeah, I cook now. That's another thing I do. I make food.
Yes, Oliver does cook.
Yeah,
he sends me pictures of his cooking.
I put them on my
honestly fantastic.
My story, yeah. Dude, if you ever come over to Ashland, to visit me, I will absolutely cook for you or something. Yeah.
If you come to Irvine to visit me again, and you stay here, I'm gonna cook for you.
Nice.
So let me show you the bread.
Oh yeah, I should mention that we did mention this in the LA part because I got kind of interrupted and broken up by many things. But I did visit Ben in Irvine at his dorm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of sucks you have to pay for electricity.
Yeah, it does, but I only pay like $16 a month anyway, so it's really not that bad. But don't live in Plaza where students in Irvine actually can't get any student housing anymore. So I'm actually really lucky to have gotten it last year because nobody got any this year.
That sucks.
It does suck.
Also, I want to bring up the fact that we're supposed to, we're doing this podcast monthly for a bit. I think I would like to try to have that be a goal when we get back to a more regular schedule with college and all that.
It's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to be quarterly. I'm going to be super busy. I'm sorry, but it's going to
it'll be like whenever possible, hopefully monthly, but likely not. But
maybe more like short form stuff like this when we're just feeling like it and like. Instead of planning everything around one day.
So we'll see how it goes. I think that's another idea. But I think let's see, because I did not release the one from LA because it was awful. That wasn't a very good podcast. So that one stays for now, at least, unless people really want to see it. That one will stay forever in the vault. But then I mean my voice memo stored
that is a problem with a lot of our podcasts.
What?
Especially recently. Our podcasts recently have kind of been lacking. I don't know if this one's going to be lacking.
Well, I mean, I think before this is a pretty good one. I think but before this one, the last podcast, you weren't even on it.
Oh,
it was Theo. Yeah, it was Theo Krause. Because actually the whole point of the podcast originally, I was going to have different guests every so often, but Ben was the only one who was actually an adult Ben was the only one who was actually a grown-up person about having a schedule and letting me know when he was available. And so because of that, he was kind of the only one who ended up being on most of the podcast episodes so far.
You need to change that.
What?
You need to change that name. This time podcast is us too. We can have a guest on. Can you put come on.
What?
Come on. Waste of Time Podcast. We're the two hosts. You have the two.
Yeah, I know.
All right, we have a sweatshirt. We have our own merch.
Ben. Agreed. Yeah, no, Ben is, you are a host of this podcast. But like I said, back when it first started, it was going to be a different guest every week or two. Mostly some of my friends. However, because of the fact that Ben was the only one who could be an adult about having a schedule and letting me know when he was available, it just kind of defaulted to Ben being the co-host. And, we're now the host of this show, and it's working well with us being on it. So I'm glad.
Me too.
So I think we should. House. Final couple days here. I'm leaving on Tuesday. It's now Saturday. Packing up the house on Monday. And then next episode will probably be the first episode recorded in the new condo I'm living in. You know,
I thought we recorded one before.
No, we recorded one in my dorm.
No, we were on a call on there, but we didn't film it.
Yeah, I did. I think like the first time I spent a night in there, back it was just an air mattress in the condo. Nothing else moved in. I think I did FaceTime you and did like a showing off my kitchen area video with you.
It was nice.
Yeah. But I think so. Yeah, that would be fun to do a call in the condo. But like it didn't really become real to me that I've known since like March of 2021 that this house is being sold eventually in the next couple of years. And like even though I had a condo there now, it never really became real to me that oh shit this is happening until I started ordering furniture for the condo. Like,
wow.
Until I started, I bought like a TV stand, I got a TV, a bunch of other stuff. I'm like, until then, I'm like, I didn't really realize, oh shit, this is happening. Because a lot of stuff from this house is, house-sized furniture that does not fit in a condo. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, I think it's a good downside. You've got your own condo at Ashland. That's just fantastic, I wish I had a condo. No, I don't. Not really.
Yeah.
But it's nice you have one.
It's
I don't want to
nice,
come to Irvine. The HOA here sucks, so I'd rather not. But Ashland's probably going to be a lot better.
The HOA is the most lax thing ever. I've actually met the people in charge, and pretty much the only reason it exists is, like, hey, you can't put, like, offensive flags in your front yard, for example. That kind of stuff. And, hey, it's like, hey, motherfucker, don't park in someone else's driveway, that kind of stuff. It's pretty much why it exists. And the people in the area I actually asked about when I was looking, I was looking at the condo with my parents. We went up to look at different condos, and I made sure to ask, if I ran into a neighbor, I said, hey, what's the HOA like around here? And they said pretty much, pretty much the entire place, it's all very nice.
I've heard nothing but good things about Ashland. I've heard nothing but shit things about Medford.
God, Medford's so bad. It became worse after the fires, and like most of the homeless population from the area ended up in Medford. I think I told you about the time I went to go see the Batman at like 3 in the morning. 2 in the morning.
Wasn't there that guy that was like you called the bowling ball or something?
No, that wasn't.
Human bowling ball?
No. That's also not what I said.
Was it?
No, I'll mention that in a minute. But like, no, because like that was like my friends went back to my friend's house and I went back because I'm like, normally I would go party with my friends, but I'm like, tonight I actually have to study. I've been putting off for the last 3 nights, so I actually have to study now. So I did that.
That's me right now.
And I got a lift back to the to my campus. And I walked 2 blocks away
Medford?
to make the lift, and I immediately realized my mistake.
From Medford.
What?
From Medford.
Yeah. Why?
That's far.
It's 15 miles. It ain't that far.
That's fucking far. That's like millions of dollars over here.
Had it been daytime, I probably would have walked it, but it wasn't. So I called Lyft. I walked about 2 blocks to go meet the lift. It was like 2 a.m. in Medford. I walked 2 blocks and immediately realized my mistake. I was in the middle of oh shit and oh no alley. There was like I don't know. It's like very sketchy. Because, there's a lot of the displaced population there from the fires, and it's just not great. Again, obviously not all homeless people are like that, but the ones in that area specifically were having issues with alcohol at the time it appeared. Very inebriated. So Ashland's nice, but the towns around it aren't all that great. But, I'm kind of excited we started a new chapter in my life there. But I'm also sad because, even when I lived in San Francisco for a couple of years, I always came back to Watsonville pretty much every week for the weekend.
Yep.
On Monday morning at 5 in the morning, my parents and I would pack up, we'd leave for San Francisco and drive back after school on Friday. So even when I lived in San Francisco, I also lived here. It's my first time in 20 years I'm not living at this property. Hell, even before the house was fit to live in, I lived in a trailer on this property. So I've been here my whole life.
You've lived on your own for the last year,
Right.
Last 2 years.
Yeah, I know. So, I knew that if I needed to, I knew that if I needed to go home, I always could. because my home was never more than like, you know, an 8-hour drive or a quick plane ride away. You know, Bedford flies down to Monterey, for example.
Yeah, it's like there, but like it must be a little scary. Can you hear me?
Oh, you know, I can hear you. I would lie if I said it wasn't scary moving away, but also I'm ready for it. 'Cause, you know, I'm 20 years old and I should be doing stuff like this because this is how adults function, right? That's what the world has told me. You know, like, I'm moving away. I'm finally gonna fucking finish getting my driver's license by this time next year because I need to be able to do that. And also, there's actually my college
leaving the country.
What? They might be.
Are
yeah.
your parents leaving the country?
They might be, but also SOU actually has a driving instructor, so I'm probably gonna go through that. Because we have a lot of foreign students, like specifically from England, Wales, and Scotland.
Sorry, why?
I don't know. I guess because of our literature program. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm gonna ask some of them next year. But because of that, you know, there's always, you know, because like they kind of, you know, need to be familiarized with the rules of the road in America. So we actually do have a driving instructor that the college tends to give work to. So I'm probably gonna go through that, get my driver's license, which I ever told about my saga about my driver's license. I'm gonna bring this up very quickly before we move on.
Yeah.
So I failed my written test twice. I was really annoyed by it, so I just kind of got like anxiety and decided not to do it again. And then I had a behind the wheel test scheduled for March 21st, 2020. And we know what happened that week.
Yeah.
COVID hit and all behind the wheel tests were canceled. So finally gonna get that done. So yeah, I'm moving on to the next step in my life, but you know, it's good that I can still, you know, maintain friends from previous parts of my life, you know. I still talk with a lot of my friends from San Francisco, including Ben, some of my friends from high school here, such as Theo. So yeah, moving on.
It's not like you'll lose us. So,
no.
You know, we've been living apart for years. We haven't gone to the same school for longer than...
for 6 years, yeah. For 6 years it's been...
And we went to the same school for 3, so...
Yeah, for sure. I actually met up with Eric Dietz at a Giants game recently. I kind of said to him, it's weird that... What?
Yeah, he has a TikTok.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
my parents went with you guys, didn't they?
They did, yeah. Yes, they did. That's true. Yep.
I had no idea.
Yeah, they did. And I specifically told my mom not to invite your brother.
Oh, thank God.
I didn't want to have to deal with that. But yes, like I told Eric, you know, it's weird because like I've known Eric for a decade now, from Laurel School.
Yeah.
That was a decade. You know, like first day of 5th grade. I met you in 5th grade when he shadowed as well. So it's been almost 10 years.
Wait, you've known him for a decade? Yeah. We've almost known. Holy shit, you're right.
I met Eric first day of 5th grade, and it was like. Probably, I think it was like September something, like early September 2012.
We've definitely known each other for almost a decade now.
Yeah, no, because I met you early 2013 because you shadowed you shadowed at 5th grade.
Oh, it's 2022. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
So almost 9 years.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, life goes on, but you know you still hold on to some of the people in that life, and it can be good, you know.
And you hold on to podcasts like this one.
My audio cut out very briefly when you said "puh." I had no idea where you were going with that statement.
Oh no!
You hold on
to. Chill.
I actually now regret that joke because of what you said. That made that even worse.
Okay.
Had this been the normal podcast, we talk about what's going on in the news with him. But this is a happy podcast. This is a bright future type podcast. So,
actually, there's a very,
with that being said, let's move on very quickly back to college. What class are you taking, Ben?
Oh my God. Physical chemistry, analytical chemistry. Do you notice the thing? Biochemistry and molecular bio, and also evolutionary biology. So those are the 4 classes. I'm focusing on my major stuff this year. And also research. That's like a big thing. I'm going to be working on research for the most of the year because this entire summer I've been working on research and I just made a breakthrough in the last 2 weeks. So it's honestly been awesome.
Isn't that the job where you're getting paid like nothing?
Huh?
Wasn't that the job where you were getting paid pretty much nothing for a lot of work and where the pregnant woman accidentally sniffed like, what was it, chloroform?
Yeah. but like I love it.
And somehow that's
I'm not
not.
gonna tell you
Somehow
that.
that's not. Also, somehow I want to point out that's not an exaggeration of what you told me. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
I don't think I
It
mentioned on the
was-
podcast, I technically have a job, which I'm not going to mention it in case it doesn't happen. It's like 70-80% it will happen because I have a
And even
position
if you
created.
do, you shouldn't mention your job on the internet because it will tell you. Like people might go after you.
No, I mean like my job has to do with the internet, so I won't mention what it is. But yeah, I'll mention if I get it or not. You won't know. I mean, Ben personally will know, but the internet won't know.
I know what it is, so
Yes, you do.
I'm not a dealer. Anyways,
Sure.
what are your back to college plans? What classes are you taking? Come
So
on.
I was all set to take 4, maybe 5 classes this upcoming quarter. However, because I'm living on my own and getting used to like adult life stuff, like properly on my own, like not having a meal plan, having to learn how to cook and all that type of stuff. Both my parents and my advising teacher said just take 2 or 3. I'm like, so you know what? I have to do a 5th year anyway because of how my classes have lined up with my major. So I'm taking experimental photography, an English class, and Spanish because I never took a language in high school because I never had to.
Well, this motherfucker is going to become fluent. It's going to be like,
I wanted to take something that I wanted to take
nachos.
I wanted to
Nachos.
take something that I wanted to take something that was actually useful. So
Mandarin.
it was like for what I want to do in my life, which includes photography, and that includes I want to do cultural photography, like photographing ancient architecture in foreign places, for example. So yeah, I think first up on my list was Hebrew because I know a little bit about that, but they don't have a course in that, and I can't take a course. I cannot take an applicable course and transfer the credits, sadly, because I don't fucking know. And then I want to do Japanese, and like also that's not available. I'd suggest like 4
Chinese.
languages. It turns out the only one available is Spanish. I'm like, okay, fine, sure.
Chinese.
Yeah, I again that was another one I wanted to take, but they said nope. Because I wanted to get one that's at least somewhat functional I can use. But I think it's funny that I move away from Watsonville and then I learn Spanish. If the viewers out there don't know, Watsonville's population is heavily influenced by by immigrants and farm workers, and I grew up listening to a lot of Spanish conversations, but never actually learned the language. But yeah, so Ben, anything else about college for you? I mean, most of the stuff about like back to college we've covered in my whole. I now have a condo thing. Anything else for you?
No, I got nothing. Honestly, it's kind of boring. That's it.
All right. If you have any good ideas for podcast segments, please submit them to jenkins123@gmail.com. It's jenkins123, jenkins123@gmail.com with the tagline of "My life is over. Oh no, what do I do now?" Thank you very much for watching.
Officially, we're retiring the email joke. From now on, send us a fucking message.
Yeah.
We're ending it. We're ending the email joke.
We're ending it until we bring it back in like 2 episodes.
Wait, what does end email joke mean then?
What?
I thought you were like we're ending the email joke.
No, the email joke to end the episode. That's what that was. Ben, really? I'll put a screenshot of it here if I remember. Our podcast notes, because we didn't do full slides today, it just says end email joke. I should have punctuated that. I apologize.
Yep.
But yeah, if you have any ideas for podcast segments, please submit them to jenkins123, jenkins123@gmail.com. Again, that's jenkins123, jenkins123@gmail.com with the tagline of "My life is over, what do I do now?" and "Oh no, this is the wrong format for this joke," and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Go check out the LA vlog, listen to Ben's music, and we will see you next time.
Well, yeehaw, young fellers. Tomorrow we're going to have a great day, but right now it's time to yabba dabba go to bed. You better.